My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We break down full fight cards every single week. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And this is brought to you by Earn You. Earn You is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at earnu.com. And ODDSJAM. ODDSJAM has the fastest real-time data integrations to spot discrepancies between different sportsbooks and helping users place risk-free bets. Check them out at oddsjam.com. First up, at UFC 273, we have Julio Arce taking on Daniel Santos. Julio Arce, 17-5 overall. He's 2-3 in his last 5, coming off the TKO loss to Song Yadong. Daniel Santos, 10-1 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5, making his UFC debut. Julio Arce is a striker with solid volume and good defense. He's able to come forward with his power, but still counter-strike while he's doing that, and things come back his way. He utilizes both his hands and his feet, and he moves really well, which is why he isn't hit very often. The problem is, though, when he does get hit, you cannot always count on his chin. He has wrestling in his back pocket, and he may use it in this matchup. Daniel Santos is making his UFC debut here. There's a lot of fighters on this card making their UFC debuts. Daniel Santos is one of them. He's an old shoot-a-box fighter, and if you don't know what shoot-box is, look at Vanderlei Silva. That's the shoot-box style. He basically, you come forward with a real tight guard, and literally when you get into that pocket, those hands just absolutely explode. Super fast, super powerful. He has solid leg kicks and a clear understanding of violence. He has very good BJJ from bottom, but he can be taken down pretty easily. And even though his BJJ is good, it's that old shoot-box logic where they literally use jiu-jitsu. So instead of working for scrambles and instead of using jiu-jitsu to create an opportunity to stand back up or create space, they're literally trying to work submissions, and he can end up on his back just losing minutes in a fight. Right now, the odds have Julio Arce as a 2-1 favorite, and I have to imagine it's because Daniel Santos is making his UFC debut, but Santos is very dangerous. He can have the same success against Arce that Song Yadong did with that solid power, that come forward striking style. I do like Arce to win, but I think it's honestly because of the wrestling he has in his back pocket. I think he can work in a few well-timed takedowns, and then once you start doing that, you get your opponent worrying about both the striking and the wrestling. But if he keeps it a straight-up kickboxing match, I do like Santos to win that. He comes forward, he has power, he misses things up well. So Julio Arce is the pick. But the bet to place here is Daniel Santos wins inside the distance, but a decision is no action because Daniel Santos is tough. I don't see him getting finished, but he can win by stoppage. And all that bet means is if Daniel Santos wins inside the distance, submission, knockout, then you get paid. If he loses a decision, you get a refund. The bet never happened. You're only going to get that at BetOnline. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Jump in there, make a deposit, and we'll send you $50. As a thank you, Jakey boy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree with that inside the distance because Santos is wild enough and powerful enough to knock out Arce. If this card starts off with Arce just getting absolutely flatlined by some wild spinning attack from Santos, I will not be surprised. I've never seen anyone with 2 spinning back kicks finishes. So he's got the Joe Rogan spinning back kick. He's finished 2 people with it. He also does like spinning elbows. He does all sorts of spinning stuff. He's going to be a top in there trying to knock Arce out. I don't think he gets it done. You mentioned his takedown defense. I actually think it's better than what you say it is. So if Arce tries to grapple, I don't think he needs to do that. I think he should be able to win the striking if he stays out of the wild stuff, doesn't really get in those big wild exchanges with Santos because Santos has the power. As you mentioned, if he does some weird stuff happens, especially in front of live crowds on pay-per-view cards. So this will be a fun fight to start the card off. It'll be exciting, but I think this is an Arce play pretty much all the way. If he's on his back foot, I don't like him quite as much. I like him to be that pressure guy. So if Santos is able to dictate that pressure early, maybe laying a power shot early, this could be a live bet situation. But Arce, if he's moving forward, he's doing his thing, he should definitely dominate this fight.
Yep, I think Arce is the better fighter, but Daniel Santos is by far the more dangerous fighter. So that's a perfect spot for inside the distance decision, no action bet. So I will place that. And Jesse Kohea in the comments just let us know that is at plus 130. That's a fantastic bet. So I absolutely will be placing that. DraftKings, We both think Julio Arce wins. I don't know about you, but 0% chance I spend $9,000 on that dude. No way.
No, not as dangerous as Santos is. If Santos was just kind of like not a power guy or not just kind of another guy, maybe, but he does wild stuff, man. So yeah, I'm not taking that risk.
No, absolutely not. I'm not going to throw Daniel Santos in there either. $7,200. It's a nice price point. He can be live for a stoppage, of course, but yeah, there's a lot of fighters on this card. That's not worth it. We already talked about the bet that we like. What do you think of Monkey Knife Fight? Anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's daily fantasy. Essentially, this is how many strikes they're saying will be landed by each person. You say more or less, and if you're right, you make some money. It's that simple. WeOwnPicks.com/MKF if you want to check that out. I think if Arce wins, it's a more. If Santos wins, it's a less. I think it's that simple. You like
probably
more?
Yeah, so probably
yeah,
more.
I agree. It probably is a more. That's not anybody new. That's not a ton of strikes, especially for two bantamweights that are somewhat busy. That's a solid line there.